Okay, right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the roof stars stuck. I said, grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening and welcome to Terry's Talk. I'm your host, King Bush. Tonight, I've got a good team with me. We've got Bez. How you doing, Bez?
Yeah, good evening all. Yeah, very well after a win, good performance over the weekend.
And that's the good thing. It was actually a good performance as well this time. We'll get on to that later because we've got a section where Bez is going to go through as well. And we've got Turbo Tom here, who's upset half of League One by calling it a pub team on his little video. A pub league, in fact. Tom, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, really good. I was disappointed with Tuesday's result, but thankfully we got something. Saturday, yeah, complete team performance against the pub team that is Lincoln City. So looking forward to a good chat, lads.
Yeah, I was surprised how poor Lincoln was. Did we play really well or were Lincoln really poor? I think it was a combination of both, really. I thought it was our most complete performance. But I can't believe we've got Muppets in our media claiming it to be as good as the win away at Sheffield United and the best we've played for 2 seasons. So you're comparing it to a championship game, which it wasn't. It's a League One, and we was playing against a team that was virtually on the verge of the Premiership in Sheffield United at the time, who were top of the Championship. So it's absolutely ridiculous to compare it to that. It's also ridiculous to compare it to other games. It was as good as I've seen as this season. It's the best I've seen as this season, and I think it's probably on a par with Charlton, but I would say Charlton was a better team than what Lincoln are. They went on to get promoted to the Championship. So I'd still say over the last couple of years, Charlton is our best performance, complete performance. What would you say, Bez?
Yeah, I don't think I could disagree with anything you've just said there. I mean, I'll be honest, I've not really seen anyone compare it to, the United win, or I've seen where, some fans have said how good a performance it was, but yeah, you can't compare to any result in the Championship, really. Just to answer your first point, was it Rotherham playing well? Was it Lincoln who were poor? Again, I agree with you. I think it was a bit of both. I think Lincoln have they've just come like most other sides in this division. I don't think they're any better or any worse than like what Burton were or Northampton were or Exeter were, to be honest with you. They had some moments. I mean, I still think they had a couple of chances. Let's face it, Dawson, he made 2 or 3 good saves, which kept us in the game, or kept the game at 1-0, or if it were 2-0 at the time. So it weren't just all one-way traffic. So as I said on my post-match review, yes, it was a good performance, but I still think Rotherham can do better. They're not dominating possession. I think it was 40% around that on Saturday. They've not had more shots than the opposition. I think it was very similar. I think they've also had, similar amount of shots on target versus Lincoln as well. So to me, it's just that Rotherham had a better quality side and therefore finished their chances, whereas Lincoln didn't. I felt that was the only difference, to be honest with you. As I said, I looked at the stats, 2-0. It's like 50, 60 minutes in the game. It was 2-0. And if you looked at the game and you said, you don't know who's playing, you don't know like what the score is, it's 2-0. I think most people would say Lincoln are winning 2-0 because of the stats. So, yeah, we did what we had to do, is what I would say, and that was enough. And this is my point I've been trying to make for a while. that I think the quality of this team is definitely good enough to get that top 6. And I think at the minute they're showing it. And I'm going to praise Amshaw as well. He didn't make any subs until late. He kept the same 11 on for quite a while, which was good. So yeah, fair play to him there. He's obviously got his tactics and his style correct because they won the game 3-0. So he does deserve some. He does deserve some positive review, but I still think there's a long way to go.
I think I agree with you. Obviously, you've got to give Matt Amshaw some credit. He's obviously listened to me, hasn't he? Telling him to play 2 up front. I did mention it quite a lot on here that we should be playing sort of 2 up front and going at teams. So I think I've got a big part to play in Rotherham's rise up the table. And obviously the league is honking. And I'm going to come on to you, Tom.
Yeah, sorry, Lee, sorry to interrupt. Just that comment there again. That also had a massive factor. Their keeper was terrible. So
yeah,
I also think that affected
David Carroll said the keeper was poor, which he was. I mean, if Cam Dawson would have let that first goal in from James and even the second one from Martha, we would have been going absolutely ballistic.
Yeah.
But in fairness, speaking to a Lincoln fan in midweek, he was saying that's the first mistake that keeper's made. He's actually been good for them this season. So, yeah.
I rate him. Sorry, I do rate him. He's a very good goalkeeper. So I was really surprised that he was poor, to be honest, from Man City.
Yeah. Johnny talks up the Millers lads. Good win. Evening, Lee, Bez, and Tom. Their keeper was poor. Obviously, we've just discussed. Tess Riggs loves watching the second best football podcast in the world. Obviously, Phil talking about his podcast last night. So hopefully we get a few more numbers than what Phil got last night. But we'll see. Tom, so Tom, obviously you've put a video out there that League One is basically a pub league and Rotherham United. I think the Bradford podcast, Chickens on the Loose, he's going to be worried because you had a bet with him when we was near the bottom and they was top of the league or second. And you said Rotherham would finish above them. How many points are we behind Bradford now?
6 points.
6 points. So, do you stand by them comments of obviously it being a poor league?
100%, because I mean, you look at that league. Stockport at top, got battered off Luton. In second, you've got Bradford, and then third is Bolton. They always bottle it, and they have done for God knows how many years now. I mean, look at us. People call us the yo-yo club and think it's offensive. No. Okay, so we come down, but we usually go straight back up. A lot of these clubs just don't come back. So Bolton, nonsense. If you look at that league, it's awful. And I firmly believe, I still believe that Cardiff will win the league. They will. Because depending on where they are in January.
They've been poor though, Tom, Cardiff.
They have, but I think what will happen in January is they'll just get the money out and they'll go on and piss it. I think we will now. I think Saturday's a massive game against the very form in Luton, a Luton side. See, Cohen Bramwell scored a free kick for them again at the weekend.
Yeah, he never did that for us.
No, he didn't, did he? I mean, I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit scared about this weekend away at Luton. Cohen Bramwell, Hakeem Adoffin, players that could come back and haunt us. But hopefully I'm wrong. But
I think Adoffin's out, isn't he? Is Adoffin out, Bez?
I think
he's not been playing, but he wasn't playing, but he hasn't got back in recently. So there's a potential that he could play. Yes, potential.
But I mean, I think the league is poor. And a previous person on here, Scott, has highlighted this as well. I think we've all highlighted it. It is the worst League One lineup I've ever seen, ever. I mean, if you're a Plymouth Argyle fan, you must be absolutely spitting feathers The bottom of the league, Plymouth Argyle. Bottom of the
Yeah,
league.
I mean, they spent some money in the summer as well, didn't they, Plymouth?
Was it that
Crazy.
Wiredo that we were linked with, and we all, some fans spat the dummy out when we didn't get him. I mean, he's been absolutely atrocious. I'm looking at that league now. It is awful. It is awful. So I think we will get top 2. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I personally think Bolton will win the league. I think they're the best team in it. I think Tess Riggs has just said Bolton, the Arsenal of League One. So, yeah, I think Bolton, myself, personally, will win the league. And I think it'll be between possibly us and Cardiff for them top 3 places. I think you're right. I don't think there's anything to fear in this league. And that's what frustrated me so much about Hampshire at the start. And I don't take back any of what I said about Matt Hampshire, about him being a big boy. I don't take it back, because at the time when I was calling him out, the football was absolutely dreadful. And let's be honest, other than the win at the weekend, the football hasn't been great anyway, which is going to bring me nicely on to Bez is going to talk about the eye test. So I'm going to hand you over to Bez, and he's just going to do a little piece on the sort of eye test of what we're seeing.
Yeah, so it's more to do with a couple of tweaks that I've seen, and actually it started before the Rotherham Lincoln game, and it was I think it were 2 Rotherham fans who were kind of had different opinions about how well Rotherham were doing, and then obviously had opposition fans that kind of got involved as well. And the Rotherham fan who was positive was basically saying that the stats don't mean anything in terms of shots, corners, possession. It's all about getting the result. And now, obviously, I do agree with that. I do, you can't disagree with that, to be honest with you. It is all about the result. But what I would say back to that is it's more to do with what we could do going forward. So if we're getting wins now and we're not dominating games, it concerns me, because I feel we are getting a bit fortunate. Our keeper's making good saves at the right time. We're scoring goals at the right time as well. I guess you can't score goals at the wrong time, but goals, as I've been told before, goals do change games. So the reason I think you can look at stats, and yes, it's not the all and end all, but it's because I think stats do give you an indication of which team's been on top. Now, Rotherham and Lincoln, it doesn't tell you which team was on top. It basically tells you that it was an even game. Lincoln more possession. The shot count was quite similar. The clear-cut shot count was very similar as well. So when you see a 3-0 win, you're not really sure where that's coming from. And as I've already said, I'm just concerned that if we continue to kind of perform like we are doing, and the stats, back up what I'm saying, I think the results do dry up. Don't forget, we had a period where we didn't win a game for 5 or 6 games. And football was terrible. We were getting outplayed. We were getting outplayed by teams like Burton, or Mansfield. That's why I want to kind of raise it. I do think that when you watch a game, the stats don't always tell a story. I completely agree with that, but I still think stats do mean something, and that's why you have to look at them. And that's what I really wanted to get across. Like I said, it was one guy, a Rotherham fan, who tweeted it. I'll try and find the tweet and I'll send it to you. You can put it on the socials. But I just love to know what people think, really. Do they just go to game, what it looks like? Do they ignore stats, or do they just go?
Yeah, personally, I mean, I'm going to put the stats up here for you, just so we can have a look at the stats. So 3-0. Obviously, possession-wise, it's pretty even. Passes, they look to have made more passes. They made more tackles. They had more corners. We had both the same amount of shots, and we only had one more shot on target. Yeah. But I just don't believe in sort of stats like that. yeah, it just doesn't for me. I prefer to watch a game of football, and my eyes don't lie. So I think that's the best way you can do it. It's just crazy.
Yeah. What do you think, Tom? I do agree with Lee. Like I'm the same in the fact that, but if you're sat at home, right, and you're not watching game, and you look at the stats and you think, bloody hell, Lincoln Ramner is here. And then you've got a Rotherham fan who comes on and he says, actually, Rotherham with a dominant side, right? What do you think to it? Because I'm trying to say it's a bit of both, I guess. Like, I do agree that sometimes when you watch a game, you see things differently. I completely agree. But what I'm trying to say is I still think stats do tell you something. The game of the weekend, we won 3-0. It was comfortable. However, if their keeper makes those saves, which he should do, we only score 1 goal. And if our keeper doesn't make 2 or 3 good saves, then we draw the game or we lose the game. So actually, the reason we won, you could argue, was just our keeper putting a better performance than their keeper.
Yeah, I guess so. Just a few questions, things coming in. Nicola Peters, yes, good host this. Hi, chaps, new viewer here. So Bush's wife, Nicola, posting post. I'm not married. It's not my wife. Great pod up the Millers. Statman, Test Riggs, and Mers says he's just joined to see Phil trying to compare Bolton to Arsenal. I feel offended.
Bolton are a bigger club, aren't they?
But he says both are bottlers. That's why, Mers. So both of them are bottling it. Yeah. Sorry, your partner. It's not my partner either. I absolutely don't know who Nicola is, but thank you, Nicola. She seems to be watching. I'll send a signed shirt over at the weekend. It's not a problem. But yeah, it's not my missus either. You'll get me shot off my missus if she thinks I've got a wife. A bit bizarre. But yeah, on to more pressing things in the Millers. So yeah, Tom, what are your thoughts on stats? Obviously, we've just heard Bez going on about the stats. He's saying that if their keeper saves the shots that were shot, I would add to that though, we should have had a stonewall penalty on Sharif at the end. The keeper just wipes him out. When he chips it over him, the keeper wipes him out. No pen. And one of our goals was offside as well, apparently.
Which one?
I think
it can't be second one. That's impossible. He has to be third. He can't be first or second, can he? Because they're both hit from long distance.
Yeah, there was apparently one of them was offside. I heard the interview from their manager.
Okay.
Johnny Brown, sorry, Bushy, keep up the good works. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Johnny. We do really appreciate nice comments. I don't usually get many. I think I'm the most hated Rotherham fan in the world from some people, but here we go. So yeah, so Tom, do you think that is a fair assessment of what Bez is saying?
No. What I would agree with when it comes to stats, I mean, stats is a thing that came in a long time ago. What I will say about Rotherham is we never seem to have any more possession than anybody at all. And then the same with shots, clearances, fouls, all that sort of stuff. I completely agree. The first 2 goals, for my money, the keeper should save 100%.
So David Carroll says it was the first one that should have been disallowed for offside.
What, the one from Reece James?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scott Kent says second one is offside if VAR number is blocking the keeper's view. Yeah, it is the second one. That's I heard it. The Lincoln manager said that Nombe was offside and he blocked the view. But apparently the referee said that Nombe wasn't blocking his view. That's why he didn't give it. But I think Kent's right. I think it was offside, in fairness.
Let's not bring VAR, the disaster that is VAR, to League One.
You don't want VAR, no?
Absolutely not. Bloody hell. Can you imagine it? But what I will say, going back to our game against Burton Albion on Tuesday, that referee, phew, wow. And I mean this for both teams. I mean,
well, should we come on to Burton later, actually? It's probably a good shout. Do you want to discuss Burton as well on this podcast? We've not done that, have we?
I just think...
I mean, people talk about referees' decision. That Kettle against Barnsley, that's the worst referee. Would you say it's as bad as that, Tom, the referee on Tuesday?
No, the Trevor Kettle one, we're on about the one where Johansson gets took out by Morris.
No.
Or we're on about the one where the ball didn't even cross the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 3 red cards as well.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Trevor Kettle. Yeah.
He was a bad ref.
He had the fans at boiling point. No pun intended. Pun intended. But I mean, I think referees in the EFL are absolutely atrocious, personally. But look, that's another show, that, Lee. That is another show. Did you see that picture of Martin Sharif's ankle that I sent?
Yeah, and he didn't give a penalty for that either.
Didn't give a penalty for that. I mean,
well,
at that point... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, because we're talking about it, let's go on to quickly Rotherham Burton then. So, because that kind of backs up my point, actually, about stats and stuff, and also the eye test as well. So, everyone can surely admit that on Tuesday, Rotherham were horrendous. They were extremely poor, right? Yep. But we still managed to get a lucky 2-2 draw. Okay, if you look at the stats, right, and I'll be honest, I've seen them, but I've kind of forgotten half because it was like a week ago. I bet it looks like Burton were the better side by far, yet Rotherham got a draw. So that kind of backs up what I was trying to say.
I want us to get away from stats, man. It is ruining, like, you know, the modern football fan. They're just looking on stat. It does my head in. I don't care what the stat is. You know what I care about? The stat is the final score. I couldn't care less. You know, when you get promoted, do they go, well, you shouldn't have got promoted because you didn't have this shot. You didn't. I'm just like, for me, watch the game and decide who's the better side. You watch the game on Saturday. I don't care about the stats. Rotherham was by far the better team. No question about it. I disagree.
I don't agree with that. I think we shaded it, is what I'd say, and that's me watching the game. I felt Rotherham shaded it.
There's two ways looking at it, lads. I'm in both your camps, actually. So what Bez is saying is that yes, we won 3-0, but we weren't great, right? And I get what you're saying, Lee. All that matters is goals scored. However, over a season, as it were, stats will play a part in where you finish in the league.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
XG, as people say, XG is nonsense. I'm 50-50 with XG. The expected goals kind of thing, how many chances you create, how many expected goals you're meant to get, you will find that the team with the highest XG usually gets promoted. And so, forgive me, stats don't lie, but in a one-off game, stats don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, Bez, are you predicting that Rotherham are not going to continue this form?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, this is based on both what I see as in the eye test, and also when I look at stats. It's not just looking at stats. This is me based on both. I think if Rotherham carry on in giving out these performances. So just ignore Lincoln for a minute because it was an improved performance, right? The performance against Burton, if we're going to play like that going forward, then we will lose more than we'll win. I guarantee it.
But what I said to you, Bez, is Burton have just won at Bradford.
Yeah.
They also won at Cardiff.
Yeah.
Burton are not. I don't think Burton are going to be anywhere near the bottom half of the table.
Maybe not. But I'm not looking at Burton. I'm looking at us.
I think they're one of the better sides we've played. And we did get lucky and we did play poorly against them. But was we playing poorly, or was Burton actually playing a good game? I thought Burton did a job on us. And I think they do that to us a lot. They did it to us last season.
Yeah. I don't agree. I've just picked out one game.
The league is so poor.
Yeah.
The standard is so poor. Every single game that Rotherham go into, they have a chance of winning, but they also have a chance of losing it. And that's for every team, not just Rotherham, other than probably Bolton and
Cardiff.
I'd say Bolton. But other than that, I don't think there is any standout team. I would not be shocked. And people say, how did you call that 3-0? You got the correct score. Because I just had a feeling we would do that. And I don't care about, we hadn't looked like doing it before. It's just styles make games. And I thought we were set up perfectly to get at them. And I thought if he plays two up top with Hugo and Nombe, we will cause them problems because all they have got, they've just got big lads in their side. They're not a technical side. And you look at our midfield, we ran rings round them. Powell, Gore, they all ran rings round their midfield because they didn't have the legs to keep up with them. They're just big team. And I thought we might struggle, but let's just put some respect on young Douglas's name, right? He's not a centre-back. He's a midfielder, apparently. He's a midfielder. That's his position. That's his best position. According to Matt Amshaw, Douglas's best position is in midfield. That was one of the best defensive centre-half displays I've seen this season, other than Holmes's one game before we got injured. And I would, because they were launching balls and he won absolutely everything. And the young lad has got in the team of the week for the division as well. The only Rotherham United player to get in the team of the week. Yeah. And he didn't even get man of the match from the Rotherham fans. I think it went to James, who I thought was fantastic as well. Don't get me wrong. But Douglas is come out of the academy. He's taken his chance. And for me, he doesn't lose that place unless he plays poorly. I think he deserves his place in the team.
Well, I think for me, Douglas have played really well. I do disagree with it. I don't think that Lincoln were launching balls up personally. I felt they were a little bit too tiffy-taffy, actually. That's what I thought anyway. But when they did play long balls, because they did at some point, he were dominant, and I can't disagree with that. He played really well. I have to say, he doesn't look a midfielder for me. It looks like a centre-half is where he's meant to play. He did make a few strange decisions, I think. Like, there was one, for example, where he went to kick the ball and he, almost missed it completely. It spun away. Thankfully, it didn't go into any danger. But you're going to get that for a young lad. So, yeah, I half agree with what you said. I think you were excellent. Definitely up there in terms of one of the better players. Does he keep his place when Tom Owens is fit? I'd rather play Tom Owens still than him, just because he's too inexperienced. And Tom Owens, I still think, is a better defender. So if you had the choice for those two, I'd be picking Tom Owens personally. But he's done really well, is what I would say.
Ian says one of Lincoln's fans' reviews put Nombe offside, second goal, and he was interfering. Poppy says VAR is shocking, only works for certain teams. Mers, it would be hard to implement VAR in the lower leagues as most stadiums aren't good enough for the extra camera and would need to be set up. Right. Our stadium's better than Nottingham Forest's.
Can I add to what Mers has just said there? Right.
Yeah.
VAR is in the SPL. And outside of the Edinburgh teams and the Glasgow teams,
shout,
right?
Yeah.
They're all shite stadiums. Yeah. So, yeah.
That is a good shout, that, Tom. They are. You got sometimes you got like Partick Thistle in Premier League, haven't you?
Exactly.
And Inverness, yeah.
So.
Nurse says also stats can show if there's potentially something good to come. Look at Man United, had some good stats, but poor performances. Surely it's stats that help Amram keep his job.
Yeah, and I agree. I half agree with that, to be fair, Lee. So Van U were obviously playing well. They weren't getting the results, and now they are getting results. So, it's almost like a sign that Van U were always going to improve and get those results because the way they were playing warranted it. So I agree with that.
And we also had VAR at the New York Stadium from the Women's Euros. So, yeah, we've already got VAR at New York.
Good point.
Yeah, so Scott
Can't miss this one.
He knows his stuff.
You can't miss this one.
Also, what's that one? Go on, read that one.
He says the Rotherham Encyclopedia. Yeah, I like it.
You like that one?
Yeah, I thought you missed it on purpose, hadn't you?
But Scott Kent was another one who was like you, Tom. He did call out the league as being very poor, even before we went on the good run. He said the league is shocking. And
we all have, I think we all have.
Yeah, I think we've all been under the impression it's a poor league. Yeah, and that's why people are laughing at me saying, "Oh, the Rotherham's no chance of getting promoted." This, that, and the other. And then we go on to a silly Barnsley fan who's saying Rotherham are going to be struggling. So let's just take a moment to have a little look at this. So we're going to look at the form table here. So Rotherham United are top of the form table. Yeah, 14 points. They're going to struggle, Rotherham. Barnsley and the other brokey town that they played at the weekend. So Barnsley actually won at the weekend and still fourth bottom of the form table with Doncaster bottom. And then when we go to look at the actual table, Rotherham are now up there in 12th place. So, and we've also got, I think, a couple of games in hand over some teams as well. So, yeah, I'm confident that we can challenge this season. I'm not worried that I think we can challenge because I don't think we're that good, but I don't think the league is at all a decent league. You've got no Wrexham this season. You've got no Birmingham. You've got no real big hitters that can actually go and spend. I mean, Stockport County are top of the league and they got pumped. So,
yeah. Just on the Rotherham Barnsley thing, I've said it all along that Rotherham and Barnsley are similar clubs, in my opinion. I know you disagree, don't you, Lee? You think Rotherham probably bigger than Barnsley?
Rotherham's a much bigger club than Barnsley. Yeah, much bigger club than Barnsley. And also, we've got a better stadium. I mean, their stadium is like going back to the future. You remember that TV show where you get in the car and it takes you to another era? It's like going back in time. Like the place that time forgot. It is an absolute dump.
I think that's a bit harsh. That's harsh.
No, it is. It's a bit of a dump. Yeah, come on. Let's be honest. We've all been to Barnsley. And that guy, Fowler is he called, to go on about Rotherham, I'm sure somebody's nailed his missus and the guy that's nailed her is from Rotherham. Because obviously...
Well, no, Lee. Sorry, his missus is from Rotherham.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
He's obviously been nailed by a few Rotherham boys and he's upset by it. But come on, to say Rotherham are going to struggle now, it's getting a bit embarrassing, really. Do you know what I mean?
I watched his review and I have to say, I was expecting him to come on and say, well, this is a surprise from what I was saying, this result. And I think I might have got this wrong. Rotherham are obviously better than I thought. But he didn't. He kind of acknowledged that Rotherham did well in the 3-0 win. But he said he still thinks Rotherham are going to win it at bottom and they're going to struggle. I don't know what
They're
we've
in
got to
danger,
do.
is what he
Really.
said. Rotherham's in danger.
Yeah. Now, I think that is a ridiculous comment, to be honest with you. An absolute ridiculous comment. He must hate Rotherham, like you said. He must have something against Rotherham. Even though he claims he don't, he has to. Because that's ridiculous. He said that Donny would stay up and Rotherham are in danger. And I think we're like 5 points clear of Donny now, aren't we? Or something like that.
Yeah, and Donny and them are both in the bottom of the form table. They're both crap.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Brokey derby ended with I think Barnsley won, didn't they? 2-1. But they're crap, Barnsley. When they come to New York, we will absolutely smash them. No doubt about it. We will smash them. They're rubbish. Yeah. So don't worry about that. There's points coming there. Easy, no problem. So obviously the game against Luton looks like it's going to be going ahead as well. So
It is,
thoughts on Luton? Obviously they've got a new manager now, I believe, haven't they?
Jack Welsh.
Jack Wilshere.
Yeah. And he's already started well. Few ex-players in, Colin Bramall, Keema Doffin. I'm not sure whether he's starting or not.
Yeah, Doffin's on the bench. He's on the bench.
Yeah. So I mean that another, Rotherham fans claimed he was so good, but he can't even get in a shocking Luton team. But I know he's been injured.
They've also got Jerry Yates as well. Don't forget.
Yeah,
they've got Jerry Yates there as well.
Yeah.
So I know Tom's a bit worried about this game.
Well, I'm not so much worried, Lee. Look, it's Rotherham away, isn't it? First and foremost, it's us away. We're against Luton. The media love Jack Wilshere. It's just one of them. It's all going to come together, and they're on a good run of form. We're on a good run of form. However, we should beat them. We should beat them. They've sacked the manager, brought a new manager in. They're in transition, as it were. But I hate to say this, and I hate saying things like this, but I'll take nothing other than a win for Rotherham United. Right? A loss is devastating, and we'll smash them. 3-1 Rotherham.
Bez, do you think we'll win at Luton?
I think it's going to be difficult. I think, as Tom's already mentioned, our away form is still not very good. I know they've won a couple in a row. You've been looking at the form. I think they're up there. I think they're third or fourth in the form table.
Let's just get that up now.
So I don't. And look, they've just gone to argue one of the best sides in the division away and won 3-0.
So they're eighth in the form table. So they've got 4 less points than us in the last few games. So,
and to be fair, Wilshere's only been in charge of about 4 of them. So if you just took Wilshere's games, they're probably higher up. Like I said, they've just gone to Stockport, who not only are they one of the best sides in the division, they're top at league.
Yeah.
They're also second,
second in the form team as well, aren't they?
Yeah. So
that is a great result.
Yeah, it's a brilliant result. And again, if you look at the stats, and you don't like this, it does look like Stockport with a better side. But just to get your point back on, Lee, Luton dominated the result by winning 3-0. I'm not confident going into the game. As I said, I know Rotherham are playing really well in terms of getting results. And the last couple of away wins they've obviously got, the one against Northampton was deserved. The one against Barnsley were a little bit fortunate, but they've still got the win. In order for Rotherham to win, they need the same look that against Barnsley, I'd say. I'm going to go for a draw. I think they'll draw 1-1, Rotherham.
1-1.
Yeah.
I'm going to go same as well. I think it'll be 2-2. I'll take the point as well. Away.
Agree. I'll take the point as well,
Yeah. Just keep us run going. If we can't win the game, don't lose it. I think that's my mentality now. And like you said, we did that against Burton. So we go back onto Burton. agree with you, Bez. We were shocking that game. However, what you cannot deny and what I cannot deny, you can think anything you want to think about Matt Amshaw. He has built a team spirit within that team.
Agreed, yeah. Completely agree.
Because they have got what I like most about what he's done is the team spirit is built. Very similar to what Paul Warne had on the season, where we never said die. We could be 2-0 down and we could draw 2-2. It's not a fluke, because we did it in the virtual trophy twice. Again, against Man City, we were losing. Against the other team we played, I forget who they're called now, in the virtual trophy, we was losing at half time, and we come back to win that game as well. Yeah. So he has got that team spirit that's built up now. So yeah, I've got to praise him for that. On to Saturday's game. So we'll just go through the player rating. So Bez, who was your man of the match on Saturday?
Yeah, so I said it on my post-match review. It was Reece James, 100%. I mean, even after like 60, 70 minutes, like we were calling it, me and my mate who I sit with, we were calling Reece James. We actually think it was probably Reece James's best ever performance for Rotherham United in his career.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Bez. I mean, he was my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely... Yeah. He's the best I've ever seen him play for Rotherham. He was everywhere. I thought Rafferty was as well. I mean, what people didn't realise, one of Rafferty's tackles led to one of our goals as well.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah.
He got stuck in. And I just think... he was just absolutely... It is the best... I would say it's the best performance I've ever seen Reece James play in a Rotherham United.
Correct. Agreed, yeah. Agreed.
And I think it's about time as well. I thought the save... What you were talking about, Bez, from Cam Dawson, that changed the complex of the game. Because if they score that at that time, it's a different game.
Yeah,
and he made himself big. And he made himself big, and he saved it. And I think his form over this period has been absolutely fantastic. And I've been one of his biggest critics, and I know you guys have as well. But I just think you can't deny he's playing well for us at the minute.
No, I completely agree. I think it's a confidence thing. I think he obviously he's not had a lot of confidence in the last 15 months, let's say, and that's why he's probably struggled. He doesn't know how to come off his line at some points, and I think now that he's kind of had a couple of clean sheets. Barnsley away, for example. He's just grown in confidence. Don't forget, though, he did still make a mistake in the Burton game, though. Don't forget that. It was his fault for a goal, in my opinion. He's nowhere near the ball when it comes in. So, although I agree with you, he deserves praise and he's playing well, he does still make these silly mistakes sometimes. So, I don't want to overpraise him, is what I'm saying.
A man I do want to overpraise. Sorry, Tom. Go on.
No, I just want to say about Cam Dawson. I watched Hamshaw's interview afterwards. He said that we know that we're small at the back, so I'm asking Dawson to come out and punch and try and collect every so often. So maybe that's the coaching thing where Dawson's having to come out. And I completely agree with you, Dave. Sorry, Bez, that he was maybe at fault. He was at fault for Burton's goal on Tuesday, but I think he's been told to come out and punch and collect.
I know, Tom. I'd argue that, Tom. Like, if you as a goalkeeper, especially experienced one, should know when to come out and when not to come out. It doesn't matter what your manager says. So I don't think that's an excuse if that's what you're trying to claim as an excuse for it. I don't think it's an excuse.
I think Tommy's right. I think he has been asked to come out and punch, and to be fair, he's got one of them wrong. But over these period of games, he has actually been coming out and and he did it again on Saturday. He plucked a few balls out of the air, and I thought, wow, brilliant. So for me, if he makes the odd one or two, any goalkeeper, any player at this level will make mistakes. If they didn't make any mistakes, they wouldn't be playing at League One level.
Yeah,
They're
that's
gonna
fair
make
point.
mistakes.
Yeah, fair point.
And for me, if he makes one mistake, but he's doing that more or less every week and collecting the ball, I'll take that. A goalkeeper at this level will make a mistake at some point. But if he's doing it, trying to do the last thing, rather than just stuck on his line, I'm happy for him to come and try and punch it and get it gone and whatever. So yeah, fantastic. Another player. So our fan base frustrate the life out of me. So I put a poll, and I'm quite happy that most people would give him a new contract. So we're going to be talking Jordan Hugel here. Yeah. So most fans, it was very close. I think 2% in favour of keeping him. But there was a lot.
51-49, high. 51-49.
Yeah. So it was quite a close call, which shocked me in itself. But all the comments was about how much money he's on. It frustrates the life out of me, because that is the problem with Rotherham United supporters. They're obsessed and they don't like players if they think they're on good money. We had it with Dexter Blackstock. We had it with a lot of players that are high-profile players that have earned good money. Rotherham people don't take to them. And I think it's a classism thing. I think it's because they know he's a young millionaire. Yeah, he's made his money in football, and they've got an assumption in their heads that he isn't going to work hard. He's not going to be a Rotherham type of player, and it's absolutely nonsense. This lad has put his body on the line. He's been available every single week. He's played as a lone striker. He's played when we're literally, it's a graveyard shift. He gets blamed for everything when it doesn't go right. And that performance, what he put in at the weekend, again, was flawless. He held the ball up. He linked the play between the midfield and the forwards. I mean, he did a bit of skill where he tripped it over the defender. He controlled it. Absolute class act, this guy is. He should be the first name on the team sheet with Dangor, with Sam Nombe. He is Rotherham United, and he's put his body on the line, and it's about time people stopped going on about what money he's on. He fits within Rotherham United's wage structure. He actually had to take a pay cut when we got relegated anyway. So half the figures that have been bandied about that what money he's on are incorrect. Yeah, but he's always the one that's targeted because apparently he's the highest earner. So what if he is the highest earner? Who cares? Are you paying his wages? No. So what the fans care about what players are earning? Let's just judge them on what they're doing on the football pitch, please. Let's
See,
judge football on what he does.
I'm opposite of that though when it comes to money, because do you know, like if someone came to me and said, "Oh, by the way, Marta is on $6,000 a week," let's say, I'd be like, "Good," because you know Rotherham at this level are supposedly one of bigger clubs. They should be giving every player a good wage.
And Bez, let's not forget, you guys that go every week are paying the highest ticket prices in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
should be getting the players that are on a good wage because you're paying for that. That's what you're paying your money for. You pay that extra money. You don't live down. You're paying more for a ticket than people are down south, and they're earning more wages than the majority of people in the north. So, of course, you should expect players to be earning decent salaries when you're paying top dollar for a ticket to watch the football club.
Yeah, completely agree. I'm going to ask you a question though, Lee, actually. So obviously on the poll, I've actually not seen the comments. I'm assuming a lot of people
down to depends.
Yeah,
if
so I assume a lot of people have kind of said no. In other words, no to offering a contract because the wage is too high, right? So let me ask you a question then. So are you saying, I don't know what he's on, let's say Hugo's on $8,000 a week now, okay? are you happy for Hugo to continue on the 8K a week and stay at Rotherham, or would you rather him get a lower wage because he's now 34? Like, what? I guess that's the question I want to ask you. So, are you happy for Jordan Hugo to carry on the highest wage in the club, or would you rather try and get his wage down?
But the thing is,
Bez, that was the question that the majority of people asked. Are we
that's what
Hugo on?
And that's why I want to ask Lee.
Yeah. So, but who says he's the highest paid player? Who says he's on $8,000 a week?
I know. I'm only assuming he was.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Everybody's assuming. For me, if we've got a position to sign Jordan Hugo on a new contract, I don't care what he's on. I give him a new contract. Yeah, I give him a new contract. If he's on $8,000 a week, we pay him $8,000 a week. That's what he's paid. I'm not bothered. The football club, he deserves a new contract. He's played well. He's a good player. Are we going to get anybody better at this level? I very much doubt it.
Okay.
There's no sell on there.
Question, then.
You don't have to give him a 3-year deal. Just give him a 2-year. Give him a 1-year deal. But
do you think Rotherham at the minute will offer him a contract? Yes or no?
I think they will. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they will.
Can I ask you a question, Lee? Can I ask a question to Lee and you, Dave? Let's say we get promoted. Sorry, when we get promoted, are we offering Hugo a new contract?
Yeah, because I think Hugo, this will be controversial. I think Hugo's a better player in the Championship than he is League One. He's more suited to the Championship than he is League One.
Dave?
He's played most of his career in the Championship.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I love Hugo, and I've come on here. I agree with Lee on a lot of things. What puts me off is that's nothing to do with his wage. For me, I'm a bit like Lee again. I don't really care about his wage. All I'm concerned about is his age. I think that 2 years ago, I think Hugo was a far better player than he is now. Even though I still agree with you, Bushy. I think Hugo's one of our better players. I think his quality's gone down quite a lot in those 2 years because I was one who, if we'd have signed Hugo when he was 31 in League One, I think he'd have got 20 goals. You know, his first season for Rotherham, he scored 5 in 18, which is a great return. So if we'd been in League One at that stage, I reckon he'd have got 20 goals. Whereas now, he's not going to get more than, 7 or 8. So I worry about his age. He's going to be 34. So this is where it does come down to money for me, because I'd like Hugo to stay, but I'd only be willing to give him a squad player wage, not a first team wage. And that's where I'm struggling myself.
Next question, right? Next question. We go to the Championship. Hugo leaves. Would you take Paul Mullin?
No.
Fair enough.
No, not for me. I'll tell you one player I would take if we get to the Championship. And I believe this could be a Dan Barlaser moment. Rotherham United need to do whatever is possible to sign Dango permanently. That's what needs to happen. Yeah. If we are ambitious as a football club, people said we wouldn't get Barlaser, who was at Newcastle at the time. We had him on loan. I never thought we'd sign him permanently, and we did. We tempted him and we signed him permanently. This is what we need to do to Dango. So I know somebody quite high up at the Manchester United who said that what's going to happen with Dango is he will be, when he comes back to Manchester United, he will be offered a short-term deal purely so they can get a decent fee for him. I reckon they'll take less than $1 million for him. Yeah, that is a bargain.
Yeah,
You will sell him if Rotherham get promoted to the Championship, yeah, you'd only need to play for Rotherham a season and a half, possibly 2, and you get about £4 million back for him. That's my take on it.
Lee, sadly, and I completely agree with you, mate, we ain't getting Dango. There's not a cat in hell's chance that we'll get him. I can guarantee you right now, there's top-end Championship clubs already looking at him to buy him in January. Personally, I can see him literally.
And this is what they said, Tom. Never fall in love with loan players, man.
Exactly. I can see him at a Stoke, a Middlesbrough, or even a Coventry. Honestly, the top 3.
I ended up watching some really weird podcast with Kev on it, and Kev was telling me that Dango could end up at Sheffield Wednesday. Has Kev not been reading the news? Sheffield Wednesday have got a transfer embargo. He is not going to Sheffield Wednesday. That is one place he isn't going.
He's going top-end Championship probably in January, sadly, unless we are top 6. I
think he'll stay. I think he'll. I'm not saying we'll sign him permanently. But I think the lad is happy at Rotherham. Well, you're telling his football, he looks happy.
Let's hope so.
I just want to give another special mention to another player that's been getting a bit of stick recently, Joe Powell. I thought he was excellent as well.
He was.
Every time I see the squad being picked, I see fans saying, "Why is Joe Powell playing? Why is Joe Powell playing?" It's been understandable because he has been poor for a while, but he is better in that centre midfield than he is as a wing back or whatever he was playing for.
Agreed.
What do you think, Bez? Did you think Joe Powell had a decent game?
I do, yeah. The reason I kind of smiled there when you were saying it is because you said it just proves that Joe Powell's better in midfield, and I think sometimes it makes me laugh. When this is, look, I don't want to dig out, I'm sure, again, especially when we're winning, but he's not a left wing back. He's just not a left wing back. You can't play players out of position and expect him to be good. So, it's funny that when you play him in his main position, he plays well. That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Bez. But on the same token, you have just praised a man and given the man of the match who's not playing in his right position.
No, I get that, yeah. And I did call that on my post-match. I did say, because that's what made it better, though, for me. I even said on my post-match, I said that Reece James was excellent and he weren't even playing in his best position. So I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying that if you ever put a player out of position, you can't always expect them to perform at their best because they're not in position. Now, Reece James, let's face it, he did well on Saturday. He was excellent, but he has struggled at centre-half every other game that I've watched him, to be fair, because he's not a centre-half. So, the fact that Powell's put me in position, I'm not surprised he's been good. I did want to mention someone else as well. I want to mention Marta, because Marta's playing left wing back, and I thought he had a really good game at left wing back, and I think that's your new left wing back going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a positive because I did like that collector as well, and he's come back from injury as well now. So that'd be interesting to see what sort of happens with him. I just don't get you, Bez. I think you're not as sold on Douglas, are you, than what I am. I think he's talent.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've praised him, but he's only played 2 or 3 professional games.
He's looked outstanding.
Yeah, he has in these 2. I mean, I watched him against Oldham in the cup, and he was really poor. Like, he couldn't kick the ball, he couldn't pass it, he couldn't control it. Now, he was playing right wing back. So what does frustrate me is that I've not heard Hanshaw say this, but apparently he said that his best position is midfield, right? That's what you said.
Yeah,
If
that's
he's
true.
a midfielder, he's a very poor player because he's not a midfielder. If he's playing centre
We
half,
haven't seen him play midfield.
you are.
How can you say that? We haven't seen him play midfield.
Yeah, but we have though. We have seen him because he's played. He must have played 4 or 5 professional games. You know, like he's played in the EFL Trophy. He played last year as well in the EFL
Yeah,
Trophy.
but he's not like he's not. It's hard when he's just coming on. He's not like played full games, has he? He's played a couple of virtual.
Well, no, he's started about 4 or 5 games. That's what I mean. He started 4 or 5 games. Look, I don't know. I did say I thought you were excellent Saturday. I don't really know why you think I don't rate him.
No,
Because I
just got just a feeling you weren't overly sold on him.
No, he don't. Well, put it this way: if Rotherham had every single player fit, he wouldn't be in my starting 11 now.
No. But I thought he was close to the man of the match.
Would he be in your starting 11 if everyone were fully fit?
Right,
I'll be honest.
Let me just think.
Yeah.
So Holmes, I've only seen him once. Yeah, and he got injured. So you can't rely on him.
No, but I said if he was fit, you can't say that. If everyone was fully fit, no injury concerns, what would you play?
So he's better than Zach Jules, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's better than Raggett, in my opinion. He turns like an oil tanker, Raggett does.
Yeah.
Who else have we got as a centre back?
Agbear.
I think he's better than Agbear, potentially. Who else?
Holmes.
Holmes, I've only seen him once. And
Okay.
he played well. But yeah,
Jordan
Jordan
Hugel, he plays centre half as well.
No, definitely not a Hugel at centre half. This was a good question coming in from John Fellows. I want to put this out to you. Are most of Saturday's team out of contract in the summer?
Well, you've got, I know Hugel is, Dawson is, Reece James is,
Rafferty, I think, is.
Rafferty is for. So Denzel Hall's not. Joe Powell, I don't think, who is?
Kelly's out.
Yeah, that's 5.
Benson only got a 1-year deal as well.
So that's 6.
Douglas is as well. I think he only got a year extension.
Right,
he only got a year extension.
So the answer is yes, then, John. Most are.
Well, so this brings me on to the final part of the show. So Rotherham United fans all summer have been going on is you need to have patience. It's a rebuild. So the manager has also come out and said players will possibly be sold in January. Players that we've only just signed, bear in mind. And then the rest of the squad, again, will be all out of contract. So what will next summer be again? Another rebuild?
Yeah,
it's getting silly, boys.
It's not. Look,
it's getting silly. It is getting silly, isn't it?
This is where I do agree with you, Lee, to be fair. I reckon Rotherham have averaged 10 signings. That's an average every single summer, which
this is what I said to you.
Almost half the squad,
season, Bez. You know, when everybody's saying you've got to get Amshore time, it's a rebuild. Every fucking manager, every season has to have a rebuild. Yeah. They didn't give that time to Steve Evans. They didn't give that time to Richardson. They didn't give that time to Taylor. But every season, every manager's had to rebuild the squad. And I'm sure we'll have to do it again this summer because we should now be discussing with Sam Nombe, with Jordan Hugel, anybody that you want to keep next season, if you're rebuilding a squad, we'll be getting new contracts now. You'll be hearing announcements. Oh, such and such signed a new contract. What? It's not happening again, is it, boys? We're going to let him run down. Like you said, if Sam Nombe will probably be sold because we're not even, I heard a thing by Douglas, we're not even sat down with him yet. What the hell is going on?
Right.
There's a £1 million asset there.
Right, what I will say, right, what's going to happen here is we are the board will be deciding, like we did with Victor Hansen, Dan Barlasser, Chio. We are deciding, come December, where are we going to be? Are we going to be playoffs, top 2, or are we going to be bottom half? If we are in the top 6, which I think is crucial, right, we will keep as players. However, if we're outside of that, we'll sell Sam Nombe. Sam Nombe will be gone in January. If we're not top 6. Yeah. So, look, there is no plan. I think it's massively crucial for all of us Rotherham United fans that we get promoted this season. I'm not going to lie, because if we don't, fucking hell, we're fucked. Peace.
Bez, can you follow on from that?
Well, no, not really. I think, it's all right to get frustrated about it, but there's nothing we can do about it.
It'd be nice now. We're on a crest of a wave, yeah? We're top of the form table. We look like we can be heading in the right direction. Now, what would really pump the fans up is Sam Nombe has just signed a 2-year extension. So we've I'm not saying we can't sell him in January, but if he's got a 2-year extension, we put a release clause in that contract. Rotherham United don't get shafted with the price, yeah? Because every player at this football club, we're not Real Madrid, we're not Man United. Every player has got a price, yeah? So if somebody comes and offers that price and it's fair for the football club and the football club can invest that money in building a stronger squad from that, then I don't think any Rotherham fan is going to say, no, you can't sell him and criticise. When we criticise is when we hadn't even attempted to keep him. He's then in his last year, so we end up selling him for way less than what he's worth, or he goes away for nothing like Ogbeni did. I mean, that is absolutely criminal. One of the best football players to ever play for this football club, we got absolutely nothing for him, and he went on to play in the Premier League. You couldn't make it up. It is such bad business. It is unbelievable. But we don't. So most football clubs would actually think, we can't let that happen again, boys. We can't let that happen again. But we do. I mean, they didn't learn. They did the same with Michael Smith. It happened with Smith. We let him go for nothing, run out of contract. We let Ollie Rathbone's contract run down, got virtually nothing for him to what he was worth. We do it with Ogbeni. And we're going to do the same with Sam Nombe. It's like idiots keep on doing idiot things and expect different results. It just isn't going to change. But I'm confident that if we're in a playoff position, then that will make the board think twice. But that could be a bad thing, because then they could think, like they did with Ogbeni, we'll keep him. If we stay up, we can then might be able to persuade him to stay, and it just didn't work, did it? We lost him for nothing. But he kept us up that season, so was it worth it? Sometimes you keep Sam Nombe, he goes for nothing in the summer, but he gets us promoted. Would you say it's worth it then? For me, I don't think so, because I think you could get 4 or 5 million for Sam Nombe if he's on a long-term deal, and we could then go in January, spend 3 million of that, still have money left over, and we build a stronger team that actually does get us promoted anyway.
I think Nombe knows what it's worth, Lee. Nombe, alarm bells for me are that there is no negotiations. Some Nombe is probably being tapped up, as most footballers are. He's thinking, right, okay, maybe if a club that I've already spoken to comes in from in January, offers a cheeky bid, we'll go. Worst case, I'll stick with Rotherham until the summer, and then he'll probably end up, here's my bet, he will end up at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough is my bet. For a free.
My frustration is, I don't know about you two guys, but my frustration is we lost players this summer with what we offered new deals to. So to teams in the same league. So we lost a Dauphin to Port Vale.
Could have done with him. We could have really done with a Dauphin.
Humphreys,
Yeah.
you mean.
Sorry, we could have done.
Humphreys went to Port Vale and a Dauphin went to Luton. So two of the players we offered new deals to, we lost to the teams in the same.
I know.
division.
I was so sad about Hakeem Dauphin because I thought Hakeem Dauphin being made captain, scoring the goals that he did, I thought he could have stayed with us and become an absolute club legend. But he didn't, because obviously he wasn't offered any decent terms. And I thought that was really sad. I wasn't so much bothered about Cameron Humphreys because I think after his hamstring injury, he was cooked.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Humphreys is the same player. I had this discussion with a Port Vale fan, and he was like, "No," I said, "Listen, I watched you against, I think it was Stockport game, and he was at fault for the goals there, doing the same crap that he did when he was at Rotherham, just gliding back like there's no tomorrow, and players gone past him like with ease." So I'm not too bothered about Humphreys, but I honestly thought Dauphin was slightly overrated, if I'm honest.
Well, yeah, I actually think you're looking at it the wrong way. Actually, both of you. I think, I assume we can all assume that contracts were offered to a Dauphin and Humphreys, and obviously they've turned them down and they've gone elsewhere. Now, what I think Rotherham's done is they thought, right, we think this player is this good. Okay, so we're going to offer him a contract. A bit like what I said about Hugo, right? I think they've offered him a contract where the contract that they think is worth, which is probably low. So the fact they've turned it down is because obviously they've got a bigger contract from elsewhere. And I'd rather them do that. I think both Humphreys and Dauphin wouldn't get in this side. They would not get in this side. So I think they've done the right thing, personally.
Well, I would agree with you to a certain point. The fact is, Hampshire wanted to keep him, and he wanted to keep him as captain, and he wanted to build a team around him.
Around you, a Dauphin?
Yeah.
A Dauphin gets in this team, Dave. A Dauphin.
No, I'm not having that. He doesn't.
Is the
a Dauphin. So let's right. So a Dauphin can play centre half, right? So there's a chance he could get in the side at centre half, but there is no way a Dauphin's better than Dangor. And a Dauphin's second position's midfield. So he doesn't get in midfield. I'd still argue that Holmes. I'd argue that Agbear. I'd also argue. I mean, I'll even argue that Douglas is better.
Dave, come on. Holmes.
A Dauphin starts for us. End of.
Yeah. Holmes. So Luton clearly think a Dauphin is better than Holmes because they've sent Holmes out on loan to us and they've got a Dauphin.
I know, but he can't get in their side of Dauphin.
But he's been injured.
He's been injured.
He's been injured. He's only just come back. But they let Holmes go because they've got a Dauphin.
Well, I disagree with that. I think they've let Holmes go.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying Luton. I would probably disagree with you. To be honest with you, I always thought a Dauphin was overrated in my view.
How many important goals did Hakeem Dauphin score for us?
He did, yeah, he did.
He scored
like I said, I'm saying he's not a bad player, and I think he probably would just get into our.
He gets into our starting 11. I don't care what anybody says.
Who are you putting ahead of then, Tom? Who are you picking? Are you picking him as centre half?
I'd play him at centre half personally.
For who?
Well, out of
so you've got Holmes, Raggett, Agbear, Jules, Douglas, all of them.
James Raggett, James Rafferty as well.
Well, I'll play him above both James and Rafferty at centre half because they're not centre halves. Also, a Dauphin, I think, in a midfield. I mean, he scored that goal against Middlesbrough that, kept him up.
You're struggling to get him in, Tom. You're struggling to get him in. You tried to think there, and you're struggling to get him in.
He's only getting in at centre half. He's definitely not getting into midfield.
But he nearly said that then, Lee. He nearly said, Tom, that he's going to get in midfield then.
No, he's not getting it. Tom, you're smiling. You're not getting him in that midfield. I mean, even Benson can't get in that midfield at minute.
Yeah.
And Benson's a cracking
I actually rate Yearwood as well. I think Yearwood's got some confidence.
I think Yearwood.
He's better than you. He's better than Yearwood.
No.
No.
Oh, come on, lads.
Yearwood's a better midfielder than a Dolphin.
Yeah. Come on, it's a Dolphin. Hakeem.
Tom, I have to say, I don't understand where you're getting this Dolphin love from. I mean, as Lee said, he's an okay player, but I didn't think you were great. He made a lot of mistakes, and I don't know where you're getting this love from.
Tom, I've got one for you. Hakeem Dolphin or Carrie Arneson?
Playing
I can't believe.
Oh my God, he's thinking about it.
I can't believe you're thinking about it. Bez is gone. Bez has run off. He can't believe it.
I'm going like bloody hell.
Do you know what? Carry Arneson, yes. Carry Arneson.
In any position, in any world, he's got
carry Arneson. But look, I
okay, that's it. Tom, sorry, Tom, right? What did you like about a Dolphin? Like, what is the attribute that you like that a Dolphin had? Honestly.
Because I thought he gave 100%. He could pop up with a goal. He was no nonsense, and I believe until he left us, he absolutely adored the club personally. So.
Okay. So you
didn't adore it enough to sign a new deal, though.
Exactly,
mate.
yeah. I'm going to say
true. But what did we offer him?
I don't know. Probably a packet of poke scratchings and a night out with Tony Stewart at the golf club.
Indeed.
So, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody in the comments. Thank you for everybody that's been watching. We will be back. We'll be back, like Terminator. We'll be back on Thursday for the Premier League show. And then obviously we've got our Super Sunday show as well. We've got Luton next. Are you going to that, Bez?
No, I'm not going now. I can't.
I might go to that,
Oh, really?
Yeah. You fancy it?
I can't, because I'm taking my young one to a birthday party, so I can't.
Yeah. I'm not. I think I've got my son, but he might want to come anyway. So hopefully. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll do something with that game. Obviously, after match reactions and whatnot. So thank you again.
You can do a watch along if you want.
Yeah, potentially. If we don't go, we'll do a watch along if you want. Jonathan Shears says a 2-2 draw. That's what I've gone for, Jonathan. Have you been copying me? I've gone for 2-2. I will take the draw at Luton. I will take it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a good point because they're in form.
Watch a Dolphin score, then winner, and we come on here on Monday and Tom will love it.
That's what's going to happen, Bez.
Tom,
if a Dolphin scores, I'm not coming on.
If a Dolphin scores, you've got to do a video like you do for your carpets.
Carpets.
A Dolphin. A Dolphin.
A Dolphs.
Yeah, you got to do that, mate.
Right, I'll do it.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't start and he doesn't come back to bite us. But I think that will be a test of our character at the weekend, because I think that is a game where
it's a massive game.
Yeah,
this.
It is a game where I don't like against Lincoln. I fully expect us to beat them. When we play Burton, I expect us to beat Burton. But away at Luton, I think you can say, right, I'll accept a point there. I don't want to go there and get beat though.
Yeah.
But I'll accept a point just to keep the run going. I know, and that'll build some real confidence if we go there and don't get beat. I mean, if we go there and win, that would be absolutely fantastic. But Bez has worried me with his stats. Do you know what I mean? He's got into
Well, no, look, yeah, but he's not just sorry. He's not just out of stats. Like, I still think like look, if the Burton game, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Rotherham side. It honestly was. I know we got the 2-2 draw, but I felt that was only because when Burton was even 1-up, you know, they went and just defended. I noticed that their backline and midfield dropped really deep. They only scored the second because obviously Spence slipped, right? And then again on Saturday, yes, I felt Rotherham deserved the win, but I don't think they absolutely peppered Lincoln and dominated. I didn't think anyway.
I disagree. I think we did dominate that game. Okay. I think it was the most comfortable game we've played this season. I get what you're saying. Key moments altered it a little bit, but I never felt watching that game we were ever in danger of losing it. That's what I would say. A lot of season.
Yeah, the game thing when I felt that with Northampton because we obviously were losing 1-0 and I just could see all second half there were only ever going to be one winner because Rotherham were attack after attack after attack. And Northampton, I can't remember having a shot in that second half. So that's the only game for me where I thought Rotherham were dominant, to be honest with you. And obviously got the 2-1 win.
Super. So we're going to close the show tonight. So fantastic, Rotherham, top of the form table, on course to sort of really start challenging the top. So hopefully when we come back next week, we're going to be talking about at least a point at Luton and then move on to the next game. So it is nice to be positive for a change. It does get depressing when we've been losing, but now there is some. And what I will say is give Hamshaw the credit is that we are starting to build that team spirit and we are starting to look like we're not going to lose every game and play miserably. And we did get 2 halves of good football this week rather than just the one which we have been getting recently. I don't think the performance dropped off on the second half as much as what it usually does. So that's another positive. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys in the chat. Cheers to Tom and Bez, who are absolutely legends. They never let us down on this Monday. So I think you've got to give these guys credit. And they come on with me, the most hated guy. So they get a stick for being sucking up my backside or whatever at times as well. So I've got to give you 2 guys credit because you do put up with a lot for being on my podcast.
Maybe I'll get some praise here, Lee, because I've been arguing with you pretty much all podcast. So maybe I start getting.
People might like you now, Bess. They're like, yeah, he's arguing with us. Yeah, we like him now. So yeah,
that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it, really.
But I like it. It's good, healthy debate. This community has got good, healthy debate. We're not afraid to challenge each other if we don't agree, and that's what football's about. We don't need to. We haven't been rude to each other. We haven't fallen out. We're still mates. We, you know what I mean? We love Rotherham United. We are the happiest when Rotherham United are winning. But as eyes don't lie, we have to tell the truth. So I get it where people say, "Oh, you were slagging the manager off a few months ago." Yeah, I was because we were crap. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. What do you want me to say? We're second bottom. We're playing brilliant. I'm going to have to crap. No, I'm going to say it's a crap performance. It needs to get better. I've said this week, it's a great performance. We need to continue those performances. Bez has been quite honest. He hasn't just got like most people would see a 3-0 victory, yeah, and not have the balls to say, well, actually, I don't think we were that great. I don't think the stats suggest we're going to continue this form. I don't think there was key moments in the game where it could have gone either way. And you've got to respect Bez for that because most people would just go along with whatever I'm saying or whatever Tom's saying. We've won 3-0. We're both saying they've played well. And Bez is like, actually, no, it wasn't. It's not all rosy. So you've got to give credit. Same as Adam back then. me, you, and Tom were slagging Adam off when he's saying we're going to be top 10 by Christmas. Now it's us that look like Muppets because we could be top 10 by Christmas now. But we never thought it at the time you were saying it. Let's be honest. I didn't see it coming that we'd be top of the form league. I just didn't think Hampshire had it in him. So you've got to give people like credit on this podcast.
Exactly.
They've got the free reign to say what they actually think. And me and Bez actually thought Adam were just winding us up for just to wind us up as clickbait. Do you know what I mean? Like, is he winding us up? He thinks we're going to be top 10 by Christmas. Is this serious? And actually, we could be. So, Tom, Bez, we have to give Adam some credit.
But Adam doesn't wear pants, does he? So, do you know what? Whatever.
No. Yeah, he don't wear pants. He don't wear pants. And what
he also doesn't praise Hugo, so he's got that.
Yeah, he needs a slap for that. But what I would say is, out of all of us, the only one that put his bet where his bet is or his mouth where his mouth is was Tom, because he actually told Chickens on the Loose podcast we'd finish above Bradford. And I even thought Tom were crazy. I thought Tom had lost his mind. I said it all the time. I was like, what are you doing, mate? Do not bet that. What are you doing? And actually, well, how many points are we off Bradford now?
6 points. By January 1st, we'll be above them.
Yeah,
absolute losers, Bradford. So, great.
Well, fantastic. Right, I am going to get off now because I need to go to bed.
Some birds at a party.
So we are now going to say goodnight and up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Up the Millers.